Hey, what's going on, everybody? And today we'll be talking about this Appledesign book from the late 90s. As you may know, I am a huge fan of Apple, mainly their period from like 1985 to like 1996. Like roughly the period when they kicked Steve Jobs out in 85, and like right before he like came back in 96. And this book mainly covers like everything roughly about 1977 when the company started to about 1997, their 20th anniversary. This book is by Paul Kunkle with the photos by Rick English. And like it's like while there are like other Appledesign books out there, it's like this one really like talks about like a lot of the prototypes. I mean, a lot of like their failed stuff too. And like you could so tell like this book was done like outside of the realm of Steve Jobs, because he would never have agreed to have something like this come out. Or actually I think it was put together before he came back, but it came out like after he came back. So it's a fairly decent. This is my hand. Like it's a fairly decent size tabletop book. They're hard to find, and I did pay a lot. I paid a lot for mine. But like roughly like the book, like it talks about like there's like obviously there's pages where like they talk about like the products and like the stories behind the products. But like what's really interesting is that like it's like also like pictures. Like here's a early kind of iPad kind of deal. I mean, obviously it wasn't called iPad. Some more tablets. Some other kind of prototyping type kind of devices. The other ugly PowerBook laptops. Currency converter. So some more like their ugly stuff that actually like came out. Like it's just cool like to see. It's like while like Apple were putting like horrendously ugly shit out in the late 80s up to mid 90s, like that, while the ugly stuff was getting put out, like they were actually like ugly printer, ugly mouse. Like they actually had some pretty good design. Is that one? No, that one, because I wasn't sure that was the. I mean, there was yeah. Ugly stuff, ugly beige computer, but just like I think it's just so cool. It's like you have like the Macintosh TV, different forms of the Macintosh, and like believe it or not, like the guy who like designed most of their, but actually no, the guy who's designed everything they've put out since 1998, Jonathan Ive, he was actually like on the design team at the time. So it's like he did actually have a hand in some stuff that they did. Like here's some. It's like here's the Power CD, which it's like, hey, I actually own one of these that came out. You have like this, like the heavy metal CD player, which was just a prototype. Some other like the speakers, those came out. Like that was a prototype. The Popeye printer tablet thing. Some more like tablet prototypes. Ugly PowerBooks. The speakers, the ugly camera that actually did hit the market. And like this is a Fro pick. Apple actually designed a Fro pick. And like, I mean, obviously you have like those really fancy stylists, which I mean, this one was actually like designed by Jonathan Ives. I mean, the guy behind the iPad, the original iMac. Yeah, yeah, just really cool stuff. Okay, come on, focus, focus, focus. Thank you. Yeah, like more prototypes. The Newton, which Jonathan Ives himself did actually design a version of the Newton, like in the pre-Steve Jobs era, like an early webcam prototype. I mean, and then it's just like, again, it's like you go back and there's just like a lot of like stories behind these designs. I just like reading. I'm more interested in like of course like the late 1985 until 1996 period before Steve Jobs. Like, even though it's like that wasn't their most well regarded era, it's my favorite. It really is. I mean, if you can find it, this book, its official title is Apple. I don't know, you can't really see the Apple design, but it's Appledesign, the work of the Apple Industrial Design Group. It's definitely worth a read. It's awesome. I'm Bon Lucas. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I do have a lot more professionally filmed stuff. I just decided this would be a quick little run view. Alright guys, have a good one.